back to the Sanders Kitchen. Merry Christmas. So here we are again. We want to tell you all that we've missed you and we've had a few family medical emergencies, and that's why we haven't been back on, but everything's good now. So we're getting ready to start to head into the Christmas season. So we have a few more side dishes that we're going to be having for y'all, and tonight we're going to be making cornbread dressing. So come on over and I'm going to show you what's in this recipe. Okay, we have a nice double batch of cornbread. We have some dried bread. We have some red bell pepper, green bell pepper, garlic, celery. We have some onions, some parsley, some sage sausage, which we make. We have some kernel corn, some cream corn, some diced Gala apples. We have some turkey stock, poultry seasoning, couple of eggs, delicious butter, and we have this delicious rice dressing mix. Some people say Savoie, some people say Savoie. There's also a Richard's, and it's a dressing mix, and it's really, really good. But if you can't get it, it's okay. But that's everything that we have to make for our dressing. I'm going to get my skillet ready, and we'll get to cooking. We got our stick of butter, a little oil. And now we're going to saute our vegetables. Let's just get melted just a little bit here. So let's add our onion. I'm going to add our celery, our red bell pepper, green. Well, red and green, that's definitely Christmas colors. And we have our garlic. And of course, that's going to smell great. And our parsley. Okay, while we're cooking down our little veggies, we're going to go ahead and add our sage pork. And break that up in the pan. And then just cook that all together until the onions and the veggies are all softened and translucent. It's going to take a little bit. So we're going to let this cook down and then we'll be back. That looks so good. We get that little sausage there to get all the pink out of it, to get that done. It smells really good. So while that's sauteing, we're going to go ahead and break up our cornbread. So you just have to crush it up like this with your hands. It's no big deal. Some people like to use the boxed cornbread, which is really good, but sometimes it's kind of sweet, which I do like, but we do have some sweet elements going into this cornbread, like some corn and some apple, so we just like a regular nice cornbread mix. All right, so you get that all broken up like that, and that feels like a pretty good mixture. And then we're going to go ahead and add our dried bread to that. So this is going to be the base for our cornbread dressing. In a minute, we'll get back to our mixture of our veggies, and we'll get ready to mix everything together. Boy, this smells really, really good. So we're going to add our dressing mix. And stir that in. So, here's our apples. Just want to get that juice out. I'm going to add that.
That ought to be sweet, huh?
Yeah, and there was a few more apples in the bowl. And we're going to stir that up. We're going to let this heat through for a little bit, and then we'll be back and show you how the whole thing gets put together. So everything is coming together. So now we want to add our seasoning. So we have our poultry seasoning right here, which we use Paul Prudhomme seasoning, but you can use any kind of poultry seasoning that you can get. So we're going to go ahead and put a tablespoon of that. Maybe about 2 tablespoons. Okay. All right, so we added our poultry seasoning, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste for salt and pepper. Okay. Oh my, that's so good. I think I'm just going to add about maybe a half a teaspoon of salt and pepper to that. You can always add more, but I mean, this tastes so good. So I'm going to go ahead and stir that in. Give it another taste. That's good. All right, so we're just going to let this simmer just for a few minutes and we'll be back. I can't wait to show you how good this is really going to be. So our veggie meat mixture is ready to go into our cornbread. Yes. It's a lot, but this is what makes it so good. And just get it all out of the pan. Put that on the side. We're going to go ahead and stir this in. Oh, stir this in. It does smell good. It's a little dry right now, but we have other stuff to add to it. So while I'm stirring it in, we're going to go ahead and add our corn. And that way we get it all mixed together at one time. So we're going to go ahead with our kernel corn. And we've got our cream corn. It's another little liquid item to get it a little bit juicier. And we'll just start blending all that in. And then we need something to really get it nice and moist. We're going to be adding some turkey stock to this. So let me get this mixed in, and then we're going to go ahead and add our turkey stock. Okay, I'm getting ready to add my turkey stock. I'm going to put it in, and it's really not a measured amount. You just have to stir it, and you want it nice and moist. Can't be too dry, because you may think it's too moist, but when you put it in the oven, it's going to dry out. So you just keep stirring it in. To me, that's not moist enough, even though it looks moist. I'm going to add more. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to add almost all of it. And after I get this stirred in, I'm going to go ahead and taste it for seasoning. Because we are going to add our eggs, but I don't like tasting anything with raw eggs. So I'm going to taste it before I put the eggs in. You know what? I'm going to put more. I think I'm going to put the whole thing. I know you think that's crazy, but it's really going to dry out when it's in the oven. That looks great. So I'm going to stir it, and I'm going to taste for seasoning. Okay. You ready? Let's give it a taste and see what it's like. It's good, but it definitely needs some seasoning. So I'm going to go back with some of our poultry seasoning. Oop. I'm going to go with another teaspoon of that. And a teaspoon of salt and pepper. I'm going to go ahead and stir that in. I want you to come in here and see what the consistency, what it looks like. It's got to be nice and moist. So that's what it looks really good. But we do have to put raw egg in here. So before we put the egg, I want to go ahead and taste it and make sure we have enough seasoning in it. Now's a good time to taste, to make sure your seasoning's right before you add your egg and put your casserole in the oven. So I'm going to give it a taste one more time. It's really good, but I think I'm going to add a little bit more poultry seasoning, about another tablespoon. It's a big casserole. And we think it needs a little kick. So we're going to add a tablespoon of our caliente hot sauce that we make.
What's it made with?
It's made with Tabasco peppers that we grow here in our yard. And it's really, really good. It's not super hot, but it gives everything a delicious flavor. So we're going to go ahead and add that. Go ahead and blend everything together. And when this is blended together, I'm going to go ahead and put our beaten eggs in. Now we're going to go ahead and beat up our egg, which everybody knows how to do that. We have 2 eggs. Go ahead and put that in. I'm going to fold this all in together, and then we're going to show you how to go ahead and put it in a prepared dish to put in the oven. So we're going to go ahead and spray that really good, because you don't want that to stick. And then we're going to go ahead and pour this mixture. Now we're going to go ahead and pour it in. If it's too much, you can always put it into another casserole dish. I'm going to have to kind of turn around a little bit here. That's a lot. Okay, we just spread that out and see how that looks. And you can always put something in another casserole. You can even freeze it, so you don't want it too high. We're going to go ahead and pop this into a preheated 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes. Our cornbread dressing is ready. I'm going to let you know how it tastes. That is so good. I do have some cranberry on the side. Usually I make it from scratch, but I don't have it right now. So this is a good cranberry out of the can with the little ring around the side. This dish is so good. It's so savory with the sage sausage in it. Now we did put corn in it if you're not really crazy about the corn. The kernel corn you can leave out, but the cream corn adds a really good texture and it's nice and sweet. And it's very, very good. Thank y'all so much for watching this recipe tonight. If you like this recipe, please go to our site, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Thank y'all again, and please share this with everyone. We'll be coming out with new videos every week up until Christmas. So thank y'all so much. Merry Christmas and God bless.